Alright guys, welcome on this evening with IG8Live Esports here. Now this evening I'm joining on with East Coast F1 Division 2 for round 8, and it is for the Spanish Grand Prix. Getting started with a short qualifying session right now. And let's just have a look, see what's going on track. I'm not sure what the weather conditions are in this instance here right about now. Hopefully we'll have a bit more idea about that as we get a bit closer on to the end of the session, maybe to know if we're going to have any sort of rain happening throughout the race session itself. It is going to be a 33 lap race when we do get around to that in another 16 to 18 minutes time, but at the moment we're going to focus a bit on the qualifying laps here right about now. We already got Snooker here in the Aston Martin getting started. First driver to possibly who will get a lap in. We got Caesar on a hot lap there as well. A few more drivers will join behind that as everyone now gets started and that, so we're looking forward to see how close off these guys are going to be in terms of gaps between the lap times, especially depending with the top, at least let's work with the top 5 at least to see how close they're going to be, because it's going to be quite interesting getting around into turn 1 on that opening lap. A bit of a run getting down there as well, so it's going to get a bit interesting, especially with those guys that do have a better straight line speed to approach that run, and whoever gets a better start off the line as well. We'll see how well it does work. We got 18 drivers in for this session, for this race this evening, and I think it's going to be quite an interesting one as well. So we're just waiting to see some lap times come on in here, which we should be able to see pretty soon, so I'm just waiting for that to come around right about now. Oh, and thanks to Andy there for subscribing to us on YouTube. I was just expanding that to see what's happening on the notification side of things there. Alright, so let's get a bit on board here. Let's see where he goes. So 118.5 so far from Snooker here. First lap time to get into this here. And who else do we have? We did have, I think, Caesar running a lap here as well. As he now gets across the line, goes a 117.9. A bit more impressive than what we had from Snooker there, so that's going to hold pretty well so far. Trying to have a look, who do we have coming around next? Possibly Tim here? No, I'm not sure. Probably his teammate getting around there, or someone else to get around. I'm not sure, but someone did get around through that. Trying to have a look who's coming around next on this. So far just 2 lap times in. We're waiting to see what more we're going to have come in before the end of the qualifying session. We know everyone should be able to get a lap in, hopefully, but we'll see what's going to happen as we get on. We're going to switch on to I'm trying to have a look if we have any other cars coming around at the moment here. Looks like we do have the next Aston Martin here of Morfola getting around. He's getting back into the pits, unfortunately not going to finish off that current lap, so we're not going to be able to see what that lap is going to look like. We're on with Binadi here, and let's see. Oh, he's getting around to in sector 2, so still quite a way before he gets around and possibly gets a good lap in. Hopefully we'll see what the lap time is going to be like. Looks quite a bit cloudy here during this qualifying session, so maybe just a bit lower in terms of the track temperature. Almost loses the car just a bit there as well, so you're going to have to be just a bit careful about that just to make sure you can finish off the lap here. Eva Prime here not having the best of lap as he slowed down in the Ferrari there. Where is Smith on track here? Definitely running around, getting into sector 2 here right now. Does get a purple sector 1 and does get a purple sector 1, so possibly on a pretty good lap. I think we're going to stay with a Ferrari at least for now. See how this qualifying lap is going to be going here. So far does look pretty good. Now let's get back on this and have that. So purple sector 2 there as well from Smith in the Ferrari. Let's see where he goes by the end of sector 3. Looking on to get a pretty good lap. We got a few more lap times in as well. Harold, of course, at the end of the session there with his 119.0 holds him into P4 at least for now. Caesar still fastest. Snooker is still second fastest. I think we got Snooker back into the pits. I'm not sure if Caesar's trying to get a better lap there, but he possibly still out on track. Smith now goes fastest in the session at 117.0, but 9/10 faster than what Caesar had. So I think that's going to hold up pretty well for him. Got Remy down here in 4. 118.9, about 4/10 slower than what Snooker did. So Remy not too far off. Harold down to 5th. We got Tim Roland down there in 6th right now. 121.1, DDL 10, 121.1 as well. Just about 100 of a second off, so not too far off. We're going to go down to Flavius here in the McLaren. Let's see where he is on track, finishing up sector 3 right about now. So possibly to get a lap time in here, and let's see what it's gonna be. We still got just 11.5 minutes left in the session. It's still a lot of time for them to work with, and Flavius goes up to third, fastest so far, 1:18.4. That's gonna hold up pretty well, at least for now. I'm gonna switch this back around a bit. We got Leclerc, I think, on a lap here at the moment in the AlphaTauri. Quite interested to see where he's going to go at the end of this current lap. His teammate, of course, are currently in 7th at 121.1. Still trying to hold that lap true. Okay, so just waiting on some more hot laps to get on through here. Looks like Cowboy there is, I think he's on a lap there right now, getting through that. So getting through into sector 3 right now. Looks like he gets a purple sector 2. So we're getting some improved laps coming through with the rest of the drivers currently getting on through the grid here. So he gets through sector 3. Want to see what the lap time does look like as he finishes off this lap. As it looks so far, not too bad with it. We got Smith at 117.0, Caesar at 117.9, Flavius in third at 118.4, Snooker in fourth at 118.5, and Remy there in fifth at 118.9. Really close off with the lap time. So this is pretty impressive. I think he's going to get a bit more competitive as we get further down to the end. As I just said, it's a bit more competitive. We got Cowboy going into second now, 117.2, only about 2/10 off the time that Smith did. So we're getting closer after his time. Of course, we're looking at the tires that these guys are doing the qualifying laps on as well, because remember the top 10 will have to start the race on whatever tires they set their fastest lap time in here in the qualifying session. So they got to be careful about that there as well, in terms of tire life and how much laps they're actually going to pull off on one set of tires. So we'll see what the situation is going to be in that case. And go back down to Leclerc. Looks like he just did a purple sector 2. Not sure what this purple sector 1 time was. Possibly even purple as well. But we'll see how he finishes off the current lap. That will just determine if he's going to be putting himself, when he does mess up the sector 3 a bit, or there's not. I'm not sure. There's a bit, this bit of glitch just keeps happening from session to session. So probably just didn't mess anything up. I don't know why it happens that way. So he's getting across the line, goes fastest in the session at 116.7, at least 3/10 faster than what Smith did. Pretty impressive lap from him, even though he kind of glitched for a second. I don't know where the game showed him going, but either way, it was a pretty good lap from him. Marfola there in the next Aston Martin. Where is he on track? Is he doing a good lap here or not? Let's have a quick look on an out lap actually. Sorry, I thought he was on a hot lap there. Got Ray here. Let's see where he's gonna go with this current lap in the Mercedes right now. Getting to sector 1, so still a lot of time for him to actually finish off this current lap. I want to see what that's gonna look like. Cowboy now goes 116.736, literally about 100th of a second faster than what Leclerc did, and put himself into second there. So he's now up into P1, and of course that's going to be provisional start pole for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix. So we just want to wait until the end session to see who's going to hold on to that. But as it is right now, Cowboy holds on to it with his 116.736. Leclerc still down to second, getting quite a bit more competitive out front with our at least our top 5 for the starting grid. We'll see how close it gets down to the end of the session, because we're looking to see where the few remaining drivers that we have, where they're going to go at the end of this lap. And looks like Ray goes across the line. It's a 116.5, at least 2/10 faster than what Cowboy did. Now he now takes away a provisional pole away from him. So let's see how long that's going to stand for us. We know we got quite a few more drivers who are going to get across the line pretty soon. Let's have a look where Eva Prime is in the Ferrari here at the moment. Was on a previous good lap earlier on. And now trying another lap here again. Didn't get a lap time in as yet, as far as we can see. Harold, they're not having the best of qualifying here. Was out pretty early off in the session, so his 119.0 will stick there, but he's currently 11th with him right now for the start of the race. So not sure if it's going to be the best position for him, especially considering a starting here at Spain. A bit of a run to turn 1, but have to try his best to gain as much ground as he can through that opening lap. We'll see how well it goes. So still on with Eva Prime as he gets around the final turn, about to get across that start finish straight. Where does he go? And he goes second fastest on the grid, 116.6. We're now only a tenth off from what Ray Ray did there in P1. So not too bad with that lap time as we have it. I'm going to go down to the bottom of the grid possibly. Let's see what's going on at the back here. Is Snooker on another lap? No, he's on an invalidated lap there at the moment. Texas Rooster here goes up into P9 in the next Mercedes so far. His teammate currently P1 on this. And let's see if he's going to hold up, if he's going to be able to get a better lap than what he currently has. So as it stands here, guys, we currently got 6 minutes left in the qualifying session. It is a short qualifying session, so after that 6 minutes, we're heading straight into the race session, formation lap, and then on to the 33 lap race that we have ahead of us. Going to be an interesting 33 laps as well. Not sure if you guys are anticipating safety cars. I think we are expecting at least one to be in that race at some point, or even a virtual safety car. We're going to see what's going to happen when we get around to it. And of course, we're not sure what the weather conditions are going to be when we do get over to the race session. So also that will make it a bit more interesting, especially if there's going to be a bit of rain possibly in the race itself. We're going to see what's going to happen. Looks like Kaz FSJ goes up to 6 with his 117.2. Holds out pretty well, not too bad of a lap that he has there. Let's go on down to Psycho here in 18th right now. Currently on an outlap in the Red Bull. We'll get started in just a bit, so we're going to have to wait a bit for that, I assume. Where is DDL on track? Is he running another lap? Looks like he is running another hot lap here in the Alpine. Trying to get a better lap time in because he's down in 16th right now on the grid for the start of the race there at a 121.145, and that's the slowest lap time we currently have, so he needs to improve this. Top 6 cars already back into the pits. It looks like Leclerc is getting back out on track. Going to want to try for a faster lap time if he can. See if he can improve his position on the starting grid as it currently is. Still has a pretty good starting position, as if you ask me right about now, though. Was 116.741. Not too bad of a time. Of course, Cowboy there, 116.736. I think he did that on the mediums. Let's have a look. Which one did they do their best laps on? It looks like that's what they did their best laps on so far. I think we're possibly going to just leave it at that. Okay, sorry about all the clicking. Was just checking to have a look and see what was going on with the Premier League on their side of the race. I think they're currently under a safety car getting through, probably somewhere around lap 9 or something. Alright, so back on here, who are we following on with right about now? Where is Leclerc on track here? Trying to have a look. Definitely trying to get a faster lap in. He was previously on an out lap before I just switch off for just a second. So let's see what this current lap for him is going to look like as he finishes off it. No, he's still in sector 2, so still a bit way more to get around the track here. Is that up? He pulls to the side and just tries not to get in the way. So Ray Ray still holds on to fastest lap in the session. That's Professional Pole. Eva Prime in second. We got Cowboy there in third. Leclerc fourth. Smith in fifth. Carlos FSJ 6. We got Caesar down to 7. And Snooker down in 8. Binadi in 9. DDL in 10. And that's top 10 so far. Texas Rooster currently 11. Flavius in 12. And looks like we got Raimi in 13. Harold down to 14th with his 119.0. Marfola in 15. Psycho in 16th. Tim in 17. And S7 currently all the way down to 18 because no lap time in for him as yet. So let's see if he's able to get one. We got Leclerc getting across the line. Now goes fastest in the qualifying session at 116.1, 4 tenths faster than what Ray Ray did in the Mercedes. So he now holds on to provisional pole for the start of this race. Of course, every other car, most of the cars, quite a few cars behind of him, are currently now on outlap. So they're never going to try to get a possible better time in this session here if they can. So let's see what this case is. And we got just under 2 minutes remaining here for the qualifying session here with East Coast F1 Division 2. So very close to getting started with this race session. So we're just going to finish out this qualifying in the next few minutes and then get over to that and see where these guys are going to be at the end of this. So waiting for them to get started with their final lap here. Is it interesting on track? I'm trying to have a look because it was quite cloudy from the start of this qualifying session coming on through. Going to be very interesting to see if there's going to be any sort of rain at the end of this session here. We got Evie Prime now getting started on his final chance of getting a improved qualifying lap here. 116.690. Let's see if he improves on this current lap as he goes down the start finish it and actually pulls to the side of the track. Doesn't actually continue with that lap there. Gave that up. Might have made a mistake as he gets started with it, so he's going to let that go at least for now. There is Smith on track. I think he's invalidated his current lap, unfortunately. Cars FSJ look like he's going to go for it as he continues on at full pace right now. Got 45 seconds and under remaining here in the session. Purple sector 1 from Cars FSJ so far, so he's looking pretty good. Got Ray out of the pits on an out lap. 34 seconds to get around and get started on that current. That looks like he does get started on a lap there right now. Let's see between him and Cars FSJ if it's going to be an improvement and possible. They're going to be taking away provisional pole away from Leclerc, who currently holds on to that there with a 116.114 out in front in the AlphaTauri there as well. Got the Haas of Cars FSJ getting in a bit of traffic in front of him here as well as he tries to get in front of him. Hopefully not getting held up at oh, and looks like is he in the wall or is that a bit of a glitch? Looks like he is in the wall, so that's his lap over there with as well. Do we have anyone else running on track? I think the Mercedes, no, invalidated lap there as well. And that's the end of the qualifying session there, guys. We're just waiting for everyone who's currently running a lap to finish this off before we get over to the results. And then straight over into the race session. Texas Rooster in 11th right now, 118.4. Didn't improve his current, the previous time that it had, I think, or was it right? No, I think someone else improved their time. S7 is up to 13th. I seem to be migrating host a bit. Let me just have a see if anything's going on with that. Okay, so let's just have this qualifying session closed off with a few drivers that we do have still running on track here, and then I think we're going to be ready to have a quick look at the next session over to the race session. Is Murfola on an outlap still? It looks like he does get started on a final lap, but I think it's an invalidated lap because he might have invalidated it just a bit before. So I think that's it. Let's have a look. Is anyone else still running on track here? That's actually running a hot lap still. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I don't know why I keep saying migrating host. I'm not even sure what's happening with that at the bottom there. Okay, so I think we're just waiting for everyone to get back into the pits, and then we should be good to get over to the next session. Okay, so we got a bit of a glitch going on. We're gonna get that sorted in the next 2 minutes and then get straight into the race session. So just give us a few minutes on that. Okay, so we seem to be good now. Let's have a look at the starting grid as it is, for at least for now for qualifying grid. We're still being going through this during the race session itself. But let's see what's going on. I think the guys might still be making a new lobby. But in the meanwhile, we have Cowboys qualified for P1. Leclerc is down to second. Andre Ray in third. Eva Prime in fourth. Smith in fifth. We got Cas FSJ in sixth. We got Caesar in seventh. Snooker in eighth. Bina the 10th. And Bina in ninth. And DDL in 10th. I think we're going to get out of the lobby possibly and just head over to the... we're doing a new lobby. So we're going to just switch this off for a second and then head straight over to the into the next lobby, then get the race started. Okay, so back on the session here with East Coast F1 Division 2, going through the formation lap here right about now, and I can see Cowboy going just a bit wide, getting through on that formation lap. Anyway, let's get a few stats up on screen so we can have a look at the full starting grid as it is there right about now. I'm going to put tires on as well so you guys will be able to have a look at that, see what these guys are planning in terms of race strategies so far. And let's see what we got going on here so far. So it looks like Cowboy is starting in P1, very qualified there. Leclerc is going to be starting second, just alongside him. We got Ray starting in third. Eva Prime starts fourth. Smith will start fifth. We got Cars FSJ starting sixth. We got Caesar starting seventh. Why is that McLaren looking like it's going off track a lot? We got Snooker starting eighth. We got B90 starting in 9th. DDL 10 starts in 10th. Texas Rooster starts 11th. We got Flavia starts 12th. We got S7 in 13, Psycho there in 14. We got Remy in 15, Harold 16, Morfolio in 17. We got Tim in 18, and we got Fox there from the Premier League joining over here in Division 2 now, starting 19th on the grid. We'll see how well this race start is going to go as they get on through now, getting into Sector 3. It's going to be a 33 lap race around the circuit here, so it should be quite an interesting race. And remember, as we said in qualifying, it's a pretty long run down into turn 1, so things can get a bit hectic with that. We are possibly looking at a potential safety car or VSC, or even just a clean first lap. We'll see how it goes on through, but the midfield might have some problems getting through that turn 1 and turn 2 as well, I would say, just because we might have quite a bit of contact going on through. As you can see, our top 10 there, they're on the same set of tires that they did qualify on for the race start. So I'm going to switch that on to Leclerc for a second. Seems we're having a bit of a connection issue there, maybe still. Hopefully that is sorted on through. Top 3 on the softs. We got 4th and 5th on the mediums, next 3 on the softs, and quite a few cars on those mediums. So most of our cars seem to be running on a medium set of tires here for the start of the race. We'll see if they're going to be doing a 1-stop or a 2-stop. Looks like they might be inching towards that 1-stop there for though, but I think it's going to end up being a 2-stop either way, because we know we're going to have a VSC possibly in this race, or maybe even a full safety car. We're going to see what's going to happen. Either way, we're going to change this over to position changes. You guys will have a look at that as we get started with the session. Okay, so on the first lap getting on, it looks like everyone gets through the first sector pretty well. Goes so far so good as they all get on through. I don't see any major damage. Possibly a free contact along at the back of the race. Sorry about missing the bit on the start there with that. Let's get tires back on the grid here. We can have a look at that as we get on through. It is currently at the moment, it looks like let's just bring everything back up here. So Leclerc takes away the lead from Cowboy on that start. Had a better run into turn 1. I think I didn't get to have a quick look at that. I had to separate for just a second. Apologies about that as it is. Anyway, I'm trying to take this off screen at the moment here. So Leclerc currently leads, Cowboy down into second. We got Ray running in third, Smith in fourth, and looks like let's have a look down as we get on through with the midfield of the grid. Getting on through there, about to get into lap 2 pretty soon here as well, so I'm trying to have a look. Do we have any pretty close gaps that possibly might lead to a bit of a battle as we get on through the opening lap, getting on through here? We might see a few pit stops here on as they get it wrong, because I think a few cars did possibly take some damage on that opening lap there as well. Leclerc gets the fastest lap, of course. Leaderboard is going to get a bit mixed up here as we continue to get on through. Get into lap 2, not lap 3, so I don't know why it's even keeps saying that there, so we're going to get on through that there. Alright, so we're going to have to just wait for that leaderboard to sort itself back through before we can have any sort of idea what's happening there. Anyway, on with Leclerc, I think it's starting to sort itself through. Looks like a few cars I think one car currently into the pits here. Not sure how many cars actually took a stop, but it looks like just one so far for the start of the race there. So on lap one. So far, I think everyone's gotten through pretty well. 19 drivers on it, and looks like everyone got through pretty well. Maybe some minor contact on that opening lap, possibly, which I did miss there. But either way, it does seem to be going pretty well so far. Merfolio is not P1 down the back. Not even sure why it's showing that at that point there. Hopefully, that leaderboard gets sorted on through as we continue on with the race here right about now. But so far, so good. We still got Leclerc running out front. Cowboy down to second. He's still trying to fight back for the lead here, because as we can see, the gap is about 4 tenths between him and Leclerc. So still really trying to push as much as he can, keep that gap under a second, because they're going to have the DRS advantage once we get into lap 3. So I think he's looking forward to that, especially down the run down to into turn 1 here. You're going to try and use a bit of slipstream advantage if he can. See if that's going to work or not. Seems to be getting a bit closer as we get on through. Just about a few hundredths of a second though. And now gets about a tenth behind him into turn 1, getting through turn 2 into turn 3. And let's see how that continues on through. Leclerc still will continue to lead the race. We're going to try and follow on through down at the back. And we're going to see what's happening in the midfield at the moment here to see who is currently having a good go. And looks like we're starting to get a bit spaced out with most of our cars as they get on through here. We're on with Caesar at the moment, currently in 8th. Chasing after the I think the Alfa Romeo, no sorry, the Ferrari of Binatti out in front of him. Is that? I'm not even sure who's in front of him there right now. Oh yeah, it is Binatti in the Alfa Romeo in front. And as far as we know, it is going to be a dry race all the way through. So far so good as we get on through. Out in front, Cowboy here having a pretty good run, still keeping a gap about 5 to 6 tenths between himself and Leclerc, and I think he's trying to keep it there as much as he can. Doesn't want to lose that gap. Oh, it looks like Caesar's out there. Something happened down at the back. We're going to try to have a look if we can. There's the Red Bull stuck at the side of the track. Possibly had contact with someone, or possibly just lost the car. I'm not sure. And there is another driver there, and that is a 7 out of the race as well. So 2 drivers out of this race so far within a 5-second gap here. 2 drivers are out. That's S7 and C. So there, unfortunately, it's a virtual safety car so far. Not sure if it's going to be switching over to a full safety car for what just happened there, but so far it's a virtual safety car. We got the race leader out in front. Leclerc taking a pit stop here on that VSC, and he has turned to a full safety car. Bit of a switch. I think a lot of drivers possibly didn't expect here, because I was looking to see if that was going to happen. It did switch over to a full safety car here right now. The entire grid is going to be completely slowed down as they all get on through. And they're going to have to get back around and then get behind the safety car. So Leclerc here, now down into 7th. He's taking a pit stop under the VSC, which switched over to a safety car as he was getting through the pit lane. And I think this might be a bit of an advantage for him. We got Cowboy and Ray out in front, both running on the softs. They're going to want to now take a pit stop on as it's now a full safety car. But if they now do that, this is potentially going to put Leclerc back up into the lead quite easily. And I assume Evil Prime Smith might take a stop as well as Binatti. They're not sure. We'll see what the case is going to be up front. Let's actually follow them out front here and see what's going to happen. Strategy is going to change up just a bit with this in terms of who's going to go into the pits and who's not at this point here. So quite an interesting start. Went pretty cleanly through for the first 3 laps there until we had 2 cars got taken out of the race, and I'm not sure if they were self-inflicted incidents or if they were involved with another car for this. So let's have a look as everyone's getting around the final few turns here in sector 3 to get back to that pit lane entrance. Let's see if he, okay, doesn't look like the McLaren here of Cowboy is going to take a stop on this one. He's going to continue out on in front. I'm trying to have a look at the rest of the grid if they're continuing on as well. Looks like they are. They might be possibly hoping for a second safety car in this one to take their stops maybe further on into the race. We'll see if that's going to be the case here. Of course, Cowboy and Ray though on the soft tires, not going to be able to run a long stint as they would expect, but they're saving a bit on those tires as they're running a bit slower now under the safety car. So let's see if that becomes an advantage for them. Leclerc down in 7th, took a stop, was previously leading the race before those 2 incidents happened there. So now everyone think is back grouped up behind the safety car. I'm going to follow on through. And he's going to have to work his way up from 7th now, back up to the front of the field. And let's see how much of an advantage he is going to have. Took a bit of an early stop there, most would say. And goes on to the medium tires, which we don't expect to make it all the way to the end of the race. Of course, being a 33 lap race, we still got quite a way to get around here. So I think he's possibly looking still at another stop. But of course, we'll see what the strategy is going to be. Because remember, we have Ray and Cowboy started on the softs. They're potentially doing a 2-stop strategy as well, and they haven't done 1 stop as yet. So let's see how much further into the race they can push it on through. Evil Prime, Smith, and B90 will be able to go all the way at least to a point where they can go into the hearts and push all the way to the end of the race, and they'll be saving a bit on the safety car here as well, with the tires not running at full race pace at the moment. So let's see if that becomes an advantage for them. Getting around lap 5 at the moment, should be able to get into lap 6 here in just a bit, and hopefully at the end of lap 6 is where we'll be getting back racing into lap 7, and we'll see how that works out. So 19 drivers started, we're down to 17. Had a pretty good opening lap as far as I know there though. We didn't seem to lose anyone on the opening lap, so I think that was a pretty good sign on that end at least. Okay, so back onto this, our order has changed up quite a bit. If we do have a look at position changes as it is, we can see quite a bit happen here. But of course, Cowboy got back the lead of the race after Leclerc took his stop there. He did get away with the lead though, on the opening lap, so he's down about 5 positions from where he started. I think where he started was around 3rd or 2nd. I think he's already in 2nd. That's why down 5. Anyway, he's going to be fighting his way back up the lead, and possibly might be able to get it back as he's on fresh mediums now running. Of course, the rest of the grid not running on very old tires at this point. It's only 6 laps into the race, and we had a safety car just about a lap and a half ago. So let's see how that works out with them. Fox, they're gained quite a bit so far in this race, way up into 9th right now and running. Cars FSJ has lost 10 positions, of course. DDL10 lost about 7 positions so far as it is. So we'll see what the strategy is going to be. It doesn't look like we have any penalties in the session so far, so I think that's at least a good sign at this point here. So we're just keeping an eye out from see what's going on here. So it looks like we got everyone continue on behind the safety car. Ray, of course, keeping as close as he can to the McLaren in front of him, because just waiting for that restart to get going. And I'm not even sure why that bit of glitch shows as the McLaren going into the wall, which actually didn't even happen. We're just gonna have to ignore that for the time being. So looks like Evil Prime, Smith, and B90 here probably in a pretty good position though, because they're looking at potentially keeping their positions and increasing that by at least 2 when Cowboy there and Ray do their pit stops. They're on the soft. They got to do a stop before those on the mediums, because their tires are going to give away from them quite a few laps earlier than those mediums on the rest of the cars. So we'll see how the strategy works. Marfolo there went on to hards after taking a stop on the start of the race. I think he took a stop on lap 1. I think it was, or on lap 2, whichever it was. So he's running quite a different strategy from everyone else at the moment. Snooker there on the softs there as well, in the middle of quite a few cars with mediums. Of course, Leclerc behind of him on fresh mediums. So we're going to see what's going to happen when the safety car decides to go in, which should be, I would assume, at the end of this coming lap, this current lap that we're on here. So we should be able to go back racing into lap 8. Remember, it is a 33 lap race. We're expecting a 2-stop strategy for majority of these cars getting on through, or at least from half of the grid. Some of these guys might be pulling through for a 1-stop strategy, but they're going to have to avoid taking any damage, any penalties here, and hope that that strategy works out pretty well for them. We're going to keep an eye on the grid as they are about to get back. We started getting through Sector 3 right about now. Let's see how they go on the run down into Turn 1. We do expect Cowboy and Ray out in front to get away pretty well. We'll have to keep an eye on Evil Prime, Smith, B90, and Snooker there, and Leclerc as well as he gets on through there. Flavius there and just behind as well. We'll keep an eye right around where Leclerc is to see what's going to happen as he gets on through Turn 1. because this might get a bit dicey with them. They're definitely be fighting for positions on this restart. Most drivers do tend to take advantage of it as much as they can, especially into the braking zones, into the turns after a safety car restart. As we're about to get going here, looks like the McLaren is already on it as he gets around that Ferrari of Eva Pram, keeping very close behind the Mercedes of Rere at the moment, and it looks like he's going to use the slipstream, potentially take it on the outside or maybe the inside. He may have to switch it around here into turn one. Keeps it at the moment where he is. Looks like Smith and Binadi going side by side though into turn one, and looks like Smith gets a position up on him so far, so he's up into P4, 2/10 gap out in front between the Mercedes and the Ferrari, and they're still fighting on through for that. So I'm trying to keep an eye and see if we can follow on with what's going on. Looks like Leclerc 4/10 behind Binadi at the moment, still trying to keep on through with him and not able to get that position up as yet. Europe trying to gain back a position here. Sorry, he's trying to gain a position away from Ray if he can. Just Smith and Binadi starting to get a bit of a gap between them. 5/10 is what it is there right now as they continue on through this race. Texas Rooster down in 13. Seems to be getting a pretty close gap there as well. We'll have to keep an eye and see how that's working out. Snippy here. Let's see where he's getting through, because he's being chased by Leclerc just behind of him, who now gets a pretty close gap. He's down to about 5/10 right now. He's going to continue chasing on through. Let's see if he's able to get this overtake done or not. Out in front, we got a bit of a gap starting to form there as well between our drivers as it is. At least about 7/10 between Binadi here and Snooker, and let's continue on with that now, going over a second at the moment. And everyone now heads back down that start-finish straight, which is where they're trying to get as much of the advantage as they can. We're on board with Leclerc right now, seeing how far away he is from the Aston Martin in front of him. It seems like he's having a bit of connection issues at this point here. Still trying to follow on through that. We're on with Flavius here chasing after Fox. Let's see how this is going to work out between these two. A 4:10 gap is what we're looking at. And down in the back, an even closer gap as we got Cars FSJ going past Murfola there in the Aston Martin. Still side by side, both of them go with the Aston Martin on the outside. Has a bit of a more punishing run actually to try and get an overtake here. So Cars FSJ holds on to P14 here now as he gets on through that. Murfola back down to 15th, has the Alpine of DDL10 chasing after him as well. So has to be a bit careful. Tim rolling into the pits. And we're going to switch back out front. Looks like Leclerc might be looking at getting an overtake done, but I think he's still disconnected from his car a bit. At least that's how he's showing, and he's connected back again. So about to get back connected here, and let's see how long it takes to get connected to this car. It looks like he's keeps getting disconnected, which is definitely going to be affecting his race here itself. Let's get back out in front on with Cowboy in the McLaren and Ray, and what on earth is happening here? I think we have a disconnected lobby, which we possibly will have to do another restart for. I'm not sure what's happening.